Okay, so you all walk down this way, and you do see a herbalist on the way there. You do not see an alchemist on the way there.
That won't do. I'll just wait until I see something like it. So I'm going to continue on with them and just kind of keep it in mind that what I'm looking for might be at the general store anyway, so I'm going to follow them.
Alrighty, so we go to the general store.
Okay, as you walk into the general store, you hear a faint ding 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 ding. You can't quite picture where it's coming from though. And
Okay.
someone steps from behind back. There's kind of like an alcove behind the counter. Steps around. Says, "Oh, how can I help you?"
Hello, good sir. We're here to... Well, I need to get some gear for camping as well as adventure.
So, this is the place for you.
Awesome. What all you got?
I have anything you could want
Rain
related to outdoor equipment and many other things.
Rain catcher.
Sure.
I'll take one. It's one gold, by the way.
Okay.
Rope.
Right over here, just do a whole shelf full of rope.
One gold piece for 50 feet of hempen rope. Yep. Wait, do you have just a whole kit? Bang caboodle thrown together?
What kind of kit were you looking for? We got many different kinds of kits.
Either exploration or dungeoneering.
We got both. Which one do you want?
Let's go with both.
Alright, both it is then. He smiles real big.
Okay, I'm good. Dungeoneer.
Do you have any potions of healing?
He says, let me check. He rummages underneath the counter. And he says, yeah, pulls out a box that has several flasks in it. And he says, I have 5 of them left.
How much do you want for them?
He thinks about it for a second.
That way,
Well,
out of character, regular health potion is 50 gold.
What?
Yeah, 50.
Yeah, that's 50.
Says they're all my last 5. I'll have to restock. Oh, 15 apiece.
Insight check.
Okay.
That is going to be a 13 to see if he's trying to con us.
It doesn't seem to be conning you, as far as you can tell.
15.
You're not sure whether or not they're his last ones, but he seems to be giving a fair price.
What was the price? 50 or 250?
15 apiece.
15 apiece? Oh, that's
15 gold apiece?
Yeah.
dang right. I'll
19.
take the whole box, sir.
19 on insight.
Okay. Yeah, he definitely has more potions. But, from what you know, you have no idea how much they'd charge for a health potion, so it could be a good deal to you.
I want to take one, and I want to do an arcana check and sniff it, like an investigation arcana check, to make sure it's a real potion.
Okay.
Because 15 gold! Oh, arcana, why you do this? That's a that's a math 12.
Snips it.
Smells
So
like
you-
health potion to you.
So you have one in your hand.
Yes.
Tao leans in. May I?
Yeah.
Dips a finger in it. Because I heard that you can taste stuff without activating the effects of potions to figure it out.
Okay. Now,
So you taste it.
let's hear a little bit of your croaker lore. How often on your island would you actually be consuming standard health potions?
A standard one, probably not, but a lot of minor ones because they do practice martial arts. There's weapons, blade weapons that they practice with, live training.
Okay.
So he would know what a minor one tastes like. I'm not sure a regular.
Okay. So when you taste this, it does taste like a health potion. It does taste exactly like what you're familiar with, but you could easily, account for that maybe just being a slightly different variation of herb that grows here rather than what grows on your island.
I'll just
Tastes
take
about
these
correct.
5.
He's already buying all 5, so Forgotten corks it and sets it back on the table. Ain't that a shame? Had more gold to spend.
Says I got plenty more supplies here.
Well, I need potions. And these are your last 5.
Last 5 health potions. I have other potion needs if you really want.
Nah, needed health potions. Thank you.
I suppose it's unfortunate. If you wanted to come back tomorrow, I suppose I could be restocked. If you're still in town.
What about these? And he hands out one needle, just like to shell it.
Yeah, I have dots. You're looking for dots?
I am.
And he kind of gestures over to one area of the store that's got a lot of martial weapons.
Oh, Forgotten looks over and he's just like, yes.
A lot of they're all basic, like there's nothing special about them, but you do see a rack on one of the shelves that has assorted different colors and styles of darts.
Colors. He's gonna pick the ones that match his the hardest, because his are supposed to be unseen. They're like thin, almost always sewing needle size, so he can fling them through the air without being seen.
Okay, so you find different styles of darts too. You can find some like that match your darts almost identically. You can also find some that are bigger that you imagine would hit a bit harder.
Any kunai? Anyway, to answer the question, when I say kunai, I mean it's just a larger standard. It would just be a larger standard dart. I'm not looking for an actual kunai stat.
Sure.
I'm gonna pick up one, test the weight, and then get see if I can buy like 5 of those.
Yeah. You can pick up one of those for $1 a piece.
Alright.
One hand
So
off.
Forgotten, is there a longbow?
Yeah.
Boy, that only
Arrows?
round.
Rapier?
Yep.
Dagger?
Yeah.
Longsword?
Yep.
Another dagger. So that's 2 daggers.
Yeah.
And some of his darts. And what would be? Is there one of every weapon?
Oh, for sure.
You see Forgotten. He's acting uncharacteristic than usual. You see him sitting like, oh, I remember when they came out with that design. Oh, that one as well. Oh, he starts just grabbing. He grabs one of each and every weapon. He's just like, sets them on the table, and he's just like, how about I give you a bulk deal of 20 gold for all of this? Persuasion.
All right, give me a persuasion.
High roller.
I got the charisma of a god. That's a 20 unnatural.
Okay, he goes, well, since you've been such a good customer, I suppose I can go 20.
Alrighty. So, I'm going to add, you guys do something else. I got to add one of every single type of weapon. Forgotten has one thing, and it's a matter of he likes weapons.
You don't
Oh!
say.
Now, this is a question just because I don't know if they exist. He wouldn't happen to have a gnomish contraption pistol, would he?
No mission contraption. Pistol.
They came out, those little gnomes invented this little black powder loud thing. Shoots a ball.
Oh, I think I have heard of something somewhere else. That's not something I have here. It's a bit too high end for most of my clientele.
When can I get a hold of said thing?
I really couldn't tell you that.
I need a date here. I can spend gold.
Well,
You
I
know
suppose I
what?
could put some feelers out, maybe. And he seems to be talking to himself more than you, and he's kind of mumbling. You know what? Come back tomorrow, and I will have an answer for you.
Well, I'll happily come back tomorrow. But if you don't have the product, you won't have the gold. Just going to put that out there. I'm done.
And then at the end of that, I walk up unless you guys have something.
Also, a gnomish contraption rifle. Done. Sorry.
Unless I need to buy like herbs and stuff to use the herbalism kit. Yes.
Sure, yeah, I do.
I already have them in my inventory.
You already would have the requirements for that.
But anywho, I walk up to the front counter and I say, "So, what's this rebellion I hear so much about around these parts?"
Topic.
I'm just curious as a traveler.
You notice Forgotten start putting weapons away, and you just notice him kind of turn away as he keeps just putting them.
In random places.
Shopkeeper immediately clams up and looks not so stealthily over at the tieflings and says, I wouldn't know anything about it.
I don't worry about them. They're the quiet type.
Like I said, I wouldn't know anything about any kind of rebellion. There's a rebellion?
I say, look. I lean against the counter and whisper a little bit to him and say, you can trust me. I'm a roll persuasion. Oh.
Oh no.
Oh no!
No! The demon dice have failed.
In that one?
Yep.
Mm.
The doomsday dice
He
failed.
is not saying another word to you.
So I'm going to approach him. And I'm going to try and cast a spell on him.
Okay.
Charm person.
All right.
Forgotten's got
What's the
weapons.
DC?
The DC is Wisdom 12.
Okay.
You just count.
Did he? I would have told you. I would have hit him.
He beats it. And now he knows you tried to cast a spell on him. He looks over at you and says, Can I help you?
Not particularly.
Tao interrupts, trying to not have anyone fight. Says, "No, but you can help me," and puts the kunai on the counter. He has 5 of them.
He glares at Lum for one last second, then looks over to you and says, Did you find everything you needed?
Yes. I want these.
Delightful. It's a silver apiece.
I gotta do math in my head. Comparing a gold to a silver. One gold is 100 silver, right?
Let's see.
10 silver is 1 gold.
It's 10? Okay.
It's 10.
So that would be 5 each?
Yes.
So I give him 2 and then his silver.
Okay.
2 gold and a silver.
He happily takes your money. Pleasure doing business with you.
Now, how are we starting these things?
What's a dart do?
Dart does D4.
Okay, do 2d4 then.
Gotcha.
So after literally looking like a human pincushion walking armory, Forgotten sits there and turns around and is just like, okay, so, return tomorrow at what time about those gnomish contraptions?
Afternoon.
Alright, if you could procure 2 of the pistols and 1 of the rifle, you'll have the gold.
I'll see what I can do.
Well, if you want the money, you'll get
I walk by you and kind of like nudge you and say, you got enough weapons there, bud?
Forgotten sits there and is just like, oh, me? No, I don't.
So I approach him and go, why do you have so many weapons?
And why do you smell like dirt?
Ouch.
I don't ask about your
So-
lifestyle.
so
He
go-
says sheathing a scimitar. Sorry. Sheathing a scimitar. Don't ask about mine.
So going into this,
I wasn't judging you, man.
Can you two give me a minute? Going into this, because I'm setting up the custom kunai.
Yes.
This one of the options is affected by martial arts.
Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I think that's it. Because it lets me do it as a weapon type, so I think that's it. It'd be natural, ranged.
And you would have proficiency with it as well.
Yes, and dex.
Mhm.
Dice count 2. Dice type 4.
Too many weapons.
Damage type. I'm assuming piercing.
Yes. No, it's psychic damage. Psychic.
Anyway, the range. Do you want me to do regular dart range?
Sure.
Okay, I think that's it.
All right.
Forgotten then notices all that and looks down at his armor. He's like, studded leather armor?
He points to another section. This is a fairly decent sized store. And he says,
Correction. Studded leather armor that will go under my clothes like mine does.
thinks about it for a second, says, How well does it have to be hidden?
He looks at his normal appearance, which doesn't look like armor. It looks like his robes. And he's just like, this.
That would take some custom doing. Now let's see. I don't have anything here, but I might know someone. When you come back tomorrow, might be able to arrange something.
Good enough.
Good luck with your sneak rolls.
Hey, weapons don't add disadvantage to stealth rolls. Heavy armor and medium armor does.
Yes, the massive amount of clanking weapons on your back does not disadvantage your stealth rolls.
Drops 2
At all.
swords.
Hey, I only have one short. Well, correction. I have 2 short swords, 1 long sword, 2 daggers, a battle axe, great axe, great sword, hand axe. Whatever. All the normal weapons you see,
Good thing you got high charisma. You do not see Forgotten.
Exactly. I also got the charisma, so it's just like, hey you, no!
Helps you're a tiefling. No one's gonna look twice at a tiefling carrying a boatload of weapons.
He was rather rude. I only asked him for where the rebels are. Not really where, but if he heard anything.
Mate, sorry. I'm going to point this out to you. You're traveling with not 1, but 2 tieflings.
Why should that matter?
Because the rebels are against us.
They don't like tieflings.
Well-
That shouldn't matter.
Correction. They don't like how the place is ran, which is mainly ran by Forgotten Flix's Horns tieflings.
I guess strike me down now. And I raised my hands in the air.
That's more like asking about a robbery right in front of the town guard.
You hear a slight rumble in the distance.
Must be a storm coming.
Or you tempted the gods.
Yep.
Either or.
Where
Forgotten
is it?
straightens up his hood. I don't really care.
Hope they're the good ones. This area could probably use it.
Forgotten just shrugs. So, I picked the general store. I got my weapons. Happy. Y'all pick where we're going next. But we do gotta come back here tomorrow. Gotta see if he has any of those gnomish gunpowder weapons.
Shall
At
we
this
find
point-
an inn?
It's late in the afternoon.
How late?
So, probably about 4 or 5.
Shall we find a not so fancy inn so as not to attract attention?
Probably be good.
And I'm gonna try to find someone off the street and just ask them where like a not so bad inn is, something that they could probably recommend.
Okay. Are you asking anyone in particular? Just the first person you see?
Just someone that looks like they maybe might be like a merchant or something.
Says, what you need?
Well, I'm looking for an inn in particular.
A specific inn?
One that's not so fancy but not so rugged. Somewhere in the middle.
Nice but affordable.
Yes.
He'll point you the directions. Takes a couple lefts, a couple rights. Go on down, you'll find it.
Thank you, sir.
So as you guys make your way down to this inn, you see a big sign out in front. It says, The Plucky Rooster.
Odd name.
I hope they serve chicken.
I disagree.
Well, actually, that's going to be turkey, not chicken. Rooster, the male. Alright, now walk in.
Forgotten just rubs his temples like, maybe quail. Who knows?
Maybe none of it.
Hopefully not duck.
What? Do you not like duck?
It's greasy and nasty.
But rather decadent if you eat it right.
Like a rubber ball.
Finer taste, I guess.
I take it he
Let's
eats...
agree to disagree. No.
To each their
I
own.
follow behind.
Alright, you guys go into the inn, and the person behind the counter says, Welcome, what can I do for you?
Do you have a communal room?
Sure, how long will you be needing it?
Night? 2? Guys? Yeah.
Plan for a night. If we need to extend, we'll come back and tell you.
We can arrange that.
Alrighty.
Marvelous.
A bath, by chance.
We have that as well. For an extra fee, of course.
Splendid. Meal?
1 meal included, the other 2 are extra.
Good enough. It's about dinner time. Everybody?
Sounds good.
How much will this be?
For a room big enough to fit all of you, you are wanting 1 room, yes?
Yeah, communal room.
That would be 2 gold a night.
2 gold.
I'll chip in a gold piece.
I'll set one down. And how much for the bath? Me personally, if the others want to pay, they can.
5 copper.
No, not a problem. I slide in 5 copper.
Alright. He will have a bellhop show you to your room, and then afterwards he will lead you to the bath.
Ready go? Well, I'm gonna go scrub off. Y'all have a good time, I guess.
I'll wait till you all get your turn before I get in the bath. Feathers tend to fall off when they're wet.
Is it a big communal bath or private?
So it is a bath room, but it is separate tubs.
Well, if you want to take a bath, apparently your feathers won't be a problem. They're all separate anyways.
There are several copper clawfoot tubs.
So it's up to you.
Could use a good cleaning.
I need to go clean this up anyways.
I'm rather good right now. I'll go wait in the room for you guys.
I shall follow.
I want to take a bath.
Alright, you do that.
Stretch.
Alright, while those two are bathing, what are the rest of you doing?
I'm gonna attempt to make some potions.
Okay.
I don't know why I need to do that.
Do you have a potions kit?
Yes, I do.
Alright. Just give me either a nature check or a arcana check.
Can I attempt to help her? do
Can
that?
I be Arcana?
Yes,
I don't
if
have
you
a-
attempt to help, she will have advantage on the rolls.
Okay, I will. attempt to help.
That is what is known as a assist action. Just
Okay.
to let you know. That is a thing that you can do to assist people to help give them advantage on rolls.
Sometimes you could even essentially lower the DC that they have to beat if it's a save.
Okay. Didn't know that.
15 plus.
Okay, anything over 15 will be successful.
Okay, it's successful, and I wanted to make a health potion.
Alright. You are successful.
Haha, success.
Thanks for this.
Potion of
Doesn't
head
do
explosion.
I wish.
Meanwhile, if you guys look around, you notice the bellhop is still standing in the doorway. Almost as if he expects something.
Maybe.
Were you looking for appraisal?
Appraisal, sir.
You're looking good today.
He looks slightly confused and then slightly upset and then walks away.
I'm not there. I'm in bath. Oh,
I look towards her making the potions and I go, that's a trick. Use it.
there's something I want to do.
Alright.
I imagine probably because of I forget your character's name.
Towel.
Probably because of Tao's like privacy. You probably sit on the opposite end of the bath.
Yeah.
So I'm over there trying to talk to you, but I don't want to raise my voice too loud because I don't want to be rude. So it's like tap, tap, tap.
He's like praying through like the wing parts when he perks it up.
Hold on. Then I'm just Forgotten focuses really hard, and you hear inside your head.
He looks up, looks at you, no movement on your lips, looks around. I think there's someone in here.
Hi, buddy. Actually wanted to talk.
About?
And half this conversation keeps popping in and out of your head. Just to let you know. Like every other word. So I actually wanted to talk about your blade.
My sword?
Yes. Where did you get that? I haven't seen a design like that, and I've read numerous amounts of books. Then you hear inside your head, it's quite nice.
You make them at home.
Continue.
What was that?
Just because I could.
I guess. Anyway,
You okay? You seem like you're reacting funky.
I think I'm going crazy.
How was that? Then you hear in your head, is he hungry? Should I get back in my bath?
It's almost as if I hear two people in here, but there are one.
What do you, like, in your head?
Hadn't occurred to me. Usually it's very empty up there. Yeah.
You hear laughter in your head, just... Do you do anything?
Stay confused, I guess.
Let me try something here. Things have been seeming weird. And you don't see his mouth move, but he focuses and he just says, hello.
Hello.
I got some thinking to do. I'm gonna go sit back in my bed. I have awakened mind. I gotta figure he's gotta kind of stumble into it.
And Tower's
Seems
going,
reasonable.
He's crazy.
It's the mainland. It'll do that to you. Oh, being this far away from home is not good for my health.
All right. So after you guys finish up your baths, you make your way back to the communal room.
I walk in there and I immediately sit there and like, I look over at Loom. Look over at Loom and it's just like, you're the biggest idiot ever. I mean, you're so idiotic and you just reek of dirt inside your head.
Why? Why am I hearing this?
What a bully.
Do you react anyway?
I'm just looking around like.
Forgotten just grins and just goes sits on his bed. He's just like, this is gonna be fun.
Finds out he has awakened mind, immediately bullies a druid.
Correction, immediately bullies a druid who is rather rude.
I'm getting the bully clerics.
This is great. This is how I want to spend.
Anyway.
My character's chaotic and you kinda irked him. He's chaotic? No. He's actually just true neutral, but he still irked him.
Okay, so if there's not anything else, then you guys will just retire for the evening.
Sounds about right.
Sounds
All right.
There's
You guys-
one last thing I'd like to try to do, and I'm sorry I don't want to.
No, go for it.
Mhm.
Go for it.
When everyone kind of lays down and goes to bed, I stay up a little bit later. I want to pull out that token,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to thoroughly examine it. I
Okay.
don't want to do anything. I don't want to try to, like, whatever I did to activate it, I don't. But I want to examine it very thoroughly.
Okay. Give me an investigation check. I will add that you feel some connection to this device.
That's a 12.
Okay. As you're looking it over, kind of flipping it over in your hands and stuff, you realize, okay, obviously this is some kind of magical device. And you realize that you feel this connection to this device that you didn't when it was first given to you.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps as if you're becoming attuned to it.
I want to reach out through my head. I'm still kind of clumsy with it, but I just want to simply reach out to it and try to speak. Just simply, hello?
You hear a mm,
Do you hear me?
mm-hmm,
You speak.
mm,
Are you here to protect me?
mm.
Me and you are going to be friends, big guy. You're the last good memory I have from home. I wish I could actually ask you what drove you to humiliate me slightly as you flew through the city with me, but I wish you could tell me who gave you your original orders.
You get nothing.
We'll touch on this later. I clutch it close, tuck it into my robes, and I go back to sleep.
Alright. So you guys wake up in the morning, completely refreshed. You've all had a long rest.
Flicks his arms.
Okay, so you guys are all now awake. It's up to you what you guys do from here.
So first, right after I wake, I pray to my goddess.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Sorry, yeah, you're good. I was just opening Gucci.
I study my bandages on my palms specifically.
Okay.
Everything okay?
The bandages look like they did before. You notice if you move the bandages that you have those scars on your palms still. Unlike most scars though, they're very clearly designed and they're raised up in a even pattern. It's all evenly raised up the same amount.
Actually, I have a good idea. I take out my ink pot
Uh-huh.
and I basically lightly slather the top of it.
Okay.
Then I take out a piece of parchment I have,
Mm-hmm.
and I press it firmly on there.
Okay, when you remove your hand, there is a perfect replica of the symbol on your palm. And there's a faint shimmer to it when you first move your hand. And when you look again, you think, maybe it was just your eyes? You're not sure.
I fold it up and just tuck it in my robes. Well, who's in the mood for breakfast? Retightening the bandages.
As Tao gets up, he stretches, and he's not particularly tall, only standing at about 5'4", but his wingspan is just as long as he is, so when he stretches, wings spread out and maybe brush a few people in the face.
He pulls out a loose feather. I think you missed one, mate.
You can keep it.
Okay. He tucks it in his robe.
He's instead of when he's stretching, instead of like starting to perk up, he continues to move very slowly. And he starts doing like yoga poses to stretch out in the morning. He says, "You guys go ahead to breakfast. I have things I need to do first." And then he like stretches out into the yoga's healthy.
You hear again in your head, "Hello?" He nods, making sure that he can still do it, and that he wasn't crazy from the night before. Locks eyes with the other druids. Now just shakes his hand, walks down for breakfast. You hear a slight, "Take a bath." Halfway mimicking your own voice.
And I love it, just like disregard. It's like, I would if I could.
Forgot to his own. Did you say something?
Nothing.
You just shouted you would if you could for no reason.
Just
You okay? You going crazy?
I don't know.
Okay. Breakfast time it is. I walk down and have my meal.
Okay, you guys walk back to the main desk, and he will point you to where breakfast is being served.
On the table.
About to say, what we talking here?
It is a tavern-style establishment for the eatery, and they have menus for what you'd like to order. And it's the regular assortment that you would expect.
So we're talking like some biscuits and gravy here?
That could be arranged.
He closes the menu. He's like, whatever you recommend.
Says, okay. You realize it is your waiter is also the bellhop from yesterday.
He doesn't know though.
Noticing this, I also know. I kind of just look and I go. I walk out of there eating one of my rations instead.
I don't know that they didn't tip him. Does he look like any way angry?
No, he looks very childlike and eager, if you had to put a finger on it.
He hears inside his head, "Back straight and don't spit in my food."
You see him kind of just look around, like maybe he's trying to figure out who said
Forgotten's
that.
just sitting there like playing with something on the table, not really paying him attention, but when the kid walks away, you just see that devilish smile spread ear to ear, his pointed teeth just... This is going to be fun.
If there are waffles on the menu, I will grab them because
Okay, so you order waffles, you have whatever he thinks is best. Are the rest of you ordering anything?
Oh, I left. I ate rations and left the inn.
Alright,
I'm
Lum.
just gonna eat waffles as well.
alright. Tao,
Tao's in the room, stretching for yoga.
you didn't come down yet?
No.
Okay.
gotta have
All right.
kids.
He will bring 2 orders of waffles, and he will also bring chicken and eggs.
Good. I cut it up and start eating. Is it actually good?
It is delicious.
Very good. Sit there and just start eating it.
I'll do what I want to.
And trying to make friendly, the bellhop / waiter, who's still standing there, says, "We call this one beginning to end."
That's morbid.
Why do you call it that?
I drop a copper piece and say, "Now tell me another funny joke."
Do you have a preference on topic?
He hears inside his head, "Make me laugh."
Flips around again.
Whatever you prefer. Your funniest joke, preferably. There's nothing quite like laughing in the morning to brighten everyone's spirit.
Okay, so he looks at you a minute, and he goes, "A grasshopper walks into a bar. The bartender says, 'Hey, we have a drink named after you.' The grasshopper looks surprised and asks, 'You have a drink named Steve?'
Nah,
Not gonna lie.
I'll give you. Here's another copper piece. Have a good day.
He looks super excited and scampers off is the best term for it.
Don't trip and fall, kid. Inside his head.
He stumbles just a second and then continues to scamper.
Continue eating my chicken and eggs. This is actually not that bad. You should have got some.
I don't want to offend one of our party.
It's
Poultry.
just chicken and egg.
Bird.
He's not going to get offended. It wasn't sentient. It wasn't a member of his family. Wait, you're racist. Assuming he'd be offended if I eat bird?
Well, I don't know. So I don't want to chance to offend. Offensive.
Still a little racist. Or species. We'll go with either or.
Prejudiced.
I'm not prejudiced.
Good work. That's at least a 5 copper word. Good job.
3 syllables.
Just go back to eating my waffles.
I never stopped.
Forgotten has a neighbor. He was saying that in between bites. Alright, on to the next scene.
Alright, you guys finish up. What are you up to?
Funny you should ask.
Is it? Is it funny?
Yeah.
Forgotten gets a sense of
Kinda.
foreboding, just like, oh no, where'd Jacob go?
Do I see any churches?
Oh no.
No, there are no churches.
Thank God.
If you look around, you might see a temple, but there are no churches. There's one temple. It is a temple to Zios.
Get your Eurocentric ideas out of here.
I'm gonna go back to the shopkeeper. We went to
Yeah.
yesterday.
You're not going to wait for the party?
No, I'm just gonna go there right now.
Okay!
Oh no.
While we put a pin in that, Toah, what are you doing?
Well, after he's done doing his morning yoga, getting nice and limber for the day at hand, he walks downstairs to see what everybody's eating.
Have I already finished my meal?
Roll.
You are sopping up the last bit of egg yolk with the last piece of chicken.
Very good.
Just long enough for him to see what you're doing.
Pointed teeth and all, just.
He walks in and sits down, making it very awkward and just,
Hey, Tap.
hello.
How's your stretches?
Well, yoga is very healthy for the body, and I think everyone should do it, but that's not the life of everybody.
Does
So I
it
got a
tenderize the meat?
question.
Does it tenderize the meat?
No.
Forgotten looks over at you and just says, I got a question.
Okay, I may have an answer.
Would you be offended if we eat poultry? So, eggs, chicken, quail, turkey, stuff like that.
Would you be offended if I said you could go to hell?
This is honestly just an honest question.
He puts an elbow on the table and says, well, I was referring to hell being fiends, and I was referring to the fact that we're not all related just because we share a genus.
Ha! Racist!
Prejudiced. I knew
Whatever.
that's what he was asking. I'm just like,
She was sitting there saying that it would probably offend you if I...
it might offend him. I didn't know what he thought, so I didn't want to tempt.
I wanted an honest answer. Because if it did, I would avoid eating it. If it didn't, well,
Free game.
You should spit in his drink later.
He like, because, you know, falcons are very, very flexible. He just sits there with his hands crossed and like one on his chin, and then like his foot talon comes up and scratches his head and says, you know, birds of prey are funny things.
Mhm.
It's almost as if they eat other birds. And he stares right at the druid.
Forgotten just leans back, just smiling. Well, I'm quite full. Then I suggest as the morbid bellhop would say, the beginning to end,
An egg and a chicken breast.
yes.
Oh, my favorite.
Also, ask him for a joke. He can be, fine.
Humor is not my strong suit.
I may ask him for another.
It's him again.
But the rest of you enjoy your meals.
Meanwhile, over at the general store, you get there, and it's not open yet. It's still too early.
Wanted to buy more potions. I say aloud. I guess I'll wait. I go to like the market stalls and I kind of just hang out.
Okay. There are a few market stalls that seem to be open already, if you want to check them out.
Does there seem to be any that sell maybe... Actually, that's a stupid question. Never mind, I'm just going to hang out. I was going to say, do any of them look like they sell holy water? And I realized how stupid that sounded.
Holy water.
I'm sure they'll tell you
In
this
a place,
holy water.
in a universe controlled by evil beings where, vampires and everything run free.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's a common commodity
There
right
must
there.
be one good priest in the world.
Yes, but not this close
Yes,
to this town.
in the market.
I have my one vial of holy water, and that's
Of
all
Brockton.
I gotta save it for a vampire, probably.
Okay, one thing you do notice, looking at, there is a stall, and it looks to be a traveling merchant, so he probably goes town to town, and he has, to the looks of it, some possible magic items and rarer things if you wanted to take a look.
I'm gonna walk over.
Okay. He says, "What can I do for ya?"
You look as though you have some rather powerful items.
If this not.
Any daggers of any kind? Have special properties, maybe some, maybe not.
Let me check my inventory. He starts rummaging through his things to see if he has any daggers or not. Basically.
That's the noise his notebook makes.
Yes, exactly. Okay. Da, 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 da.
I mean, is it a dwarf?
It is a dwarf.
So $5, it's a metal notebook that he just chisels stuff into. So it's just like clink, clink, clink.
There we go.
Alright, let's see. Okay. He does not have any daggers, but he does have a sword.
Is it a short sword or a long sword?
It is a longsword. Longswords
Did
are
I
versatile,
know that any of
FYI.
About what?
They're versatile. So you can do one-handed or two-handed.
But it's probably not dex.
I'm a dex fighter, essentially.
Oh.
Scimitar, rapier.
I think the word you're looking for is finesse.
Yeah, I use finesse
Yes.
weapons. Okay, I use a whip and a short sword and throwing daggers.
Okay.
Might want to shoot for like a rapier.
And he says, longsword not for you. Maybe I can find something else. He rummages around a little bit. He says, how about this rapier instead?
I look upon it and I'm like, that might do. And I say in Dwarvish, so what were you thinking on the price?
He looks impressed that you can speak to him in his native tongue. And he says, I could part with it for, let's see, I'm thinking 10 silver.
I'll raise you one better. 10 gold. Make friends.
He says, all right, it's yours. Is there anything else I can do for you?
Well, I was wondering, how good are your smithing skills? I know dwarves are renowned for their smithing skills.
He says, well, I personally am not a smith, but my brother, on the other hand, is a renowned smith.
That's racist.
Could I perhaps get back to me on this if you can? But can you perhaps commission to tell him for me? I'm having trouble with words. If you can perhaps make like silver daggers for me, at least 5, maybe 3.
Silver daggers? I think we could do that pretty easily.
I'm having trouble with a bunch of magic users out in the woods. You know the deal.
He gives you almost a conspiratorial nod. Aye.
And I hand over the 10 gold. I give my farewells in Dwarvish, and I head back towards the inn. Business concluded. Write down the stats for the sword.
You can also create it as a custom model. Remember that.
Can I point out that Jacob Belmont might be the worst at haggling?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mentioned he's basically a newborn kitten. He's been trained his entire life, but has never really seen the outside world. This is his first expedition out.
Oh, we can tell.
Yes.
So.
Alright, so you make your way back, and you meet up with the rest of the party, who is now heading out.
Are you keeping that sword obviously out?
Yeah, it's just on my belt.
What's it actually look like?
Essentially think rapier, but it looks like this.
Ooh. You see Forgotten's eyes light up. Where did you get something like that?
There's a dwarven merchant out in town.
Oh, really? You see Forgotten already leaning out the door.
He claims his brother is an excellent artisan with weapons.
Okay, I'm gonna go pay him a visit.
Alright, you make your way to the stall. I'm assuming Jacob shows you where it's at.
Basically, like the classic cartoon, fast walking until I get there. My feet dead stop, but my body just continues with the momentum until it snaps. Just. Well, hello, sir.
Aye, what can I do you for?
Well, I noticed my friend's fine blade over here, and I happen to love weaponry and its finery. So, I came to browse your wares.
Aye, well, I do have plenty of those. Anything in particular you're looking for?
Got anything strange and exotic?
Says, I might.
Hmm.
He has, different items out on the table, and then he's rummaging through a chest, and he says, how rare are we talking here?
The rarest you got. Anything interesting. I like to collect and use. But only on people who deserve it, of course.
Okay. So he digs through, and he pulls out these gloves. And they look as if they're made of gray leather. They're fingerless, except for the two middle fingers.
Mm-hmm.
And then it looks to have some kind of tentacled monster that are covering the two middle fingers that goes up the back of the hand, and then the design also wraps around the rest of the glove.
Interesting. Mind explaining what these are?
Says, well, I don't know exactly how they work, but I do know they're magic, and they're worth a lot.
Arcana check?
Sure.
15.
Okay. You know these are mind mugger mitts.
Mm-hmm.
You're not sure all of the things they're capable of, but you have a general sense of it.
What roughly do I understand?
You do realize they require attunement. They make you more adept at sleight of hand, and you realize you don't remember what spells they are, but they do have innate spells in them as well.
Forgotten pulls out that the book that he has of weaponry and everything, and he flips through. He flips to a certain page where it's it's a rapier and a dagger that is labeled. The rapier is called Song, and the dagger is called Dance.
Yes.
He lays it down and is like, have you come across anything like these? They're very rare. I think one-ish of a kind.
I see. He says, do you know what they do?
Say that again?
Do you know what they do?
Well, Dance has an ability where, say you lose it, you can call it back to your hand. Song can charm people, but separate, they're okay. Together, well, I guess you could call it the song and dance.
Interesting. I don't have anything like that. But, as I told your friend here, my brother is a master smith. And I am certain he could make you something that would be to your liking. Says,
where would your brother happen to reside?
He says, well, I'm the traveling merchant. So he makes the wares, and I travel on and sell them. He's not much on the selling himself. So I would go back home, tell him of our custom orders, we'd make it, and I can either meet you back here once they're done, or, if you prefer, we could pick a different meeting place and a different time, and meet there.
Let's say within the next 2 to 3 weeks. Where do you plan on being then? Or would you have enough time to go back to your brother and make these? Or are we talking months here?
He says, 3 weeks is probably pushing it, but I could guarantee 4.
So, 5 weeks, where would you be?
He pulls out his map. He says, let's see. Starts mumbling to himself. And he says, I would probably be back in the capital at that point.
How deep in the capital are we talking?
I'll be here and there. Just a little time in the market district, a little time in other places.
I look at my map. What's a good kind of quiet town where I can roughly guess where there's not much control, especially from my family's.
Okay, let's see. You guys are at Brockton right now.
Actually, while you look at that, I turn to the party. Is there any places you guys would prefer to go? And don't let me take up all of it. You want to look at his wares as well? Look.
I've already looked, and she's the blade, she's the back end. And I'm very impressed, says in Dwarvish.
Aye. You do realize there's much more things to be looked at or bought if you so choose.
Also,
Right.
I'll still, of course, look at him.
So, Forgotten realizes that the farther north you go, the less governmental presence there is,
Mhm.
because tieflings hate the cold. So if you were to pick a small town farther north, you'd probably be a lot better off.
Let me make a history check here for you. 13. What would be a good, roughly, meeting point between the capital and somewhere safe up north that I wouldn't have to worry about, say, running into people?
Okay, so if you were to go towards the capital along the road, you could find a place that's somewhat in between the towns you're in. But if you wanted to find a place that's more north, you could either go north of the town you're in or north of the capital. Which one were you wanting?
Northish of the capital.
Okay, north of the capital. The next closest town that you think would be safe would probably be Ren. And that is about midway between the capital and the furthermost northern border before you hit the frozen north.
So what's a good town up there?
Ren.
What about Ren? 6 weeks?
Strokes his beard for a minute. Says, "Aye, we could meet in Ren in 6 weeks."
Alright.
Says, "Meanwhile, I do have plenty of other wares if you're interested."